Hi there, my name's Walter. I'm out here at the beautiful Columbia Lake and got some of my little supermodels behind me, the beautiful sheep reserve we have here. And today what I'm going to be covering is getting your first audition tape ready for casting submission, something like Greg Ovens, who once in a while you'll see or hear me in his videos. Greg and I started shooting together I think in 2014, and he's going strong since his debut on Alone, and he's really made some great leaps and bounds since he's hooked up with the winner Zach Fowler, and they shot their 30-day survival challenge. So a 30-day survival challenge and all the video that you're taking has really caused a lot of people to step up their game. So what I'm going to be covering here is basically the poor boy kit of getting your first casting submission ready for something like Forged in Fire or Moonshiners or Naked and Afraid or whatever you're doing there. So what I'm shooting on right now is a 1080p HD Canon Vixia RH100 or 800, and I'll just show you what that camera is because I always carry a couple of them, and that's this camera here. And I've been shooting on these since they used to be silver. That was a few years back, and they were kind of the top of their game for the prosumer HD camera. Okay, and then I upgraded to this one. I used this one up until just recently. Greg shot a music video with this guy, kind of on its last legs. He shot a music video of Les Stroud at a symposium that he was at. So I'm a huge fan of these. I like them because if you're going to be out in the bush, they're light. They come with a nice little holster. You can hook a pair of them onto your backpack. And you know, we're always faced with that choice. Do I go out and buy one big expensive camera? Let's say you're on a budget of $600. For $600 you can get a really nice DSLR, which is kind of being replaced by mirrorless cameras now. Technology is getting so quick. This is a SD card version. You can get a pair of these for around $600 now, and I think my first one cost $800. So they're getting cheaper. And again, you can carry two of these, and you can be shooting multiple camera angles. So this is a big part of my kit. I like having them around because they're just a great backup camera if you've got to scale down a cliff or do something dangerous and you don't want to take your big camera out there. This is the guy that you want. The new versions of these also have the sort of that overnight frame footage or slow delay where you can watch the clouds roll overnight, right? And it's got a beautiful cinema technology in it as well. So it looks like the old school 35mm film. It's a really great camera. So this is kind of our main battle wagon. Another part of my kit for audio recording, and I'll show you a little sample. It's just a basic, like if you're gonna be sitting around with some friends at a campfire, really nice camera. It'll hook into your computer, and the audio recording is really nice on this. So that's another tool we use. If you're gonna be getting into the videography and whatnot, it's always nice to have a nice portable recorder like this one. We have beautiful noises coming off the lake with the ice cracking, and unfortunately I could hear it yesterday, but the ice is melted, so I can't really give you too much of a sample with this. But this is a nice little tool. It's got little XLR cables that you can hook into the bigger cameras. And finally, there's a new full frame format coming out, and I think they're as high as like 60 megapixels. The camera I wanted was a Sony, but since they're new and they're very pricey, they're around the $5,000 mark. I found this little hybrid camera that's a 4K camera, and again, I kind of opted, this will get me through this year on 4K. 4K UHD is sort of the new submission standard, and you can pick up two of these for under $1,000. So again, is it better to have two cameras for half the price or one big camera and risk damage it and having nothing, right? So I think we're gonna see me pick up a couple of more of these. I field test everything really hard, and I'm really impressed with this, like up to a 2400mm zoom with this thing. And it shoots in 4K, and I'm really pleased with it. You'll see some of the sample footage that I'm doing. So that's just a brief sort of run on what it takes to to get started in doing video submissions, DSLR cameras right now, there's a lot of lenses available, and since they're being replaced with mirrorless cameras, I still recommend going with a DSLR, but you're as B-roll cameras and still photography cameras, try to get around the 24 megapixel range right now. That's going to be jumping up. The new standard is going to be 40 megapixels, but and the sensor size is a factor too. Like the 1-inch sensor is now better than the old 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch sensor which we're shooting on now here. Okay, so I'll just grab my camera that I'm filming with here and I'll show you my basic field kit. It's very light. So you can see everything here fits into a small backpack. Another great little tool here is this little guy. You can screw it into a fence post if you want to take time-lapse photography. It's really nice. These are great and they're cheap, just like a little tripod. Okay, what you're going to see here is my setup to shoot down here at the Eagle's Nest. I've got my Canon camera. I'm recording on my iPad right now, which will also, I can control my my still camera, 4K camera, and then over here, so I can film that beautiful scenery down there, I've got this camera lined up. Up there we have the Eagle's Nest where I'm zoomed right in on, and I can use my iPad for that. So you get a basic idea of my kit set up here. And that gives me an opportunity to cover a series of angles here. So you get the general idea. Got the field recorders. Everything again all fits in my little tiny bag, but that's my setup. And this is my beautiful new 4K camera, and that's dialed in on the Eagles over there. And this guy here is dialed in on the beautiful weather we've got going on over there, a little mist and cloud that's going on. So it's nice to be prepared like this, and this entire kit here now you can get for under $1,000 where you're running 3 cameras. So it's really worth considering.